Another qualifying session is about to get started, and we are here to give you the #1 place to get your strategies, because of course we cover everything. Now, the only thing that we don't cover on this channel is plank wear, so we're not going to be able to tell you the ride height are required on your car. Sorry, McLaren fans, me included, we have to take the pain. So yes, we are going to be getting stuck in to this week's GP event and giving you everything you need to know. Now, that GP event is the Legendary Qatar Grand Prix event. That is what's coming up this week. We have got Beast, Senna, Fittipaldi and Nigel Mansell all receiving a 10% stat boost, but there is also some more stat boosts. We'll go into the GP and we'll show you what else is included. Now, of course, this week, if you haven't seen already, the sponsor task is race points yet again. And we have a boost of Jin that is going to be required if you get through to finals and you can win. So Jin, not a bad boost. It's not the best, but it can do you okay. So with that in mind, we're going to shortly cross over for our Legendary Qatar Grand Prix event to go through the circuits that are required. So our strategy guide for qualifying is absolutely getting ready to go ahead. So let's take a look then. As we mentioned before, we're going to go through the strategy. We're going to go through where to use DRS, what drivers to use, what car setup to run. We literally go through everything. We leave no stone unturned when it comes to F1 Clash events. Now, it is the Legendary Qatar, and you can see here it is Ayrton Senna, Emerson Fittipaldi, Nigel Mansell, Lando Norris is the inclusion as well. Epic, rare and common. So of course, remember, when you look at these racing events, make sure to always check the stat boosts. We don't include legendary drivers in our guide because I feel it is such a pay to win aspect. However, you obviously need to go ahead and check. Now, what is it this week? Legends are of course available. But the big thing this week is the sponsor task, and look at this. Beware, ladies and gentlemen. This is why it's important to watch the video. On Champions, it is level 1 Senna, level 1 Norris, level 1 Beast for a 6 extra race points. 6 this week. But however, if you go down to opening round, it's level 2 Senna. And then final round, it's level 4 Senna. So don't get caught out if you are in Champion. Don't worry, contender, no troubles for you. Lando Norris, rare, and it only has to be level 1. Challenger, you've got common Norris for an extra 4 race points, and you've got Junior, which is Esteban Ocon for an additional 3 race points at level 1 through the week. So of course, you need to be doing the sponsor task because 3 extra race points is absolutely huge. Now, let's take a look at the tracks that we've got in this qualifying guide. We have a trip to Jeddah. Yes, the 8-lap circuit of Jeddah could provide us with some pain, especially because the race start is so difficult sometimes at this circuit. So hopefully we might be able to get the job done there. We have a trip at race number 2 to Silverstone, the home of motorsport. Fantastic racing usually at Silverstone. Another circuit which is great is Spa. So that's going to be an interesting race number 3 off power unit circuit. And then race number 4 is a trip to Miami. Miami is a very tough track this year. It's probably up there for me with the likes of Jeddah. It does have good DRS, but it is pretty hard. And the AI can be pretty handy as well, especially in Champions. So they are our 4 circuits that we have got to come across this week in qualifying. So with that in mind, let's get ahead to the strategy area. We're going to start off then with Jeddah, and it is a tyre management circuit and a speed circuit. So you want your best tyre management drivers and you want your speed setup. That has got to be key. Now, 8 laps to come, you're going to be pretty much doing a 2-stop all the way through to contender, and then potentially looking at a 1-stop strategy in Champion. Now, of course, you have your recommended tyre managements. Of course, if you're adding a boost, it increases your tyre management, but these are some of the strategies that we recommend. Now, the drivers behind me, some of the best drivers for tyre management. You've got the Albons and Ocons through to your Bearmans, your Bortolettos and your Lando Norrises. So Junior through to Champion, But of course, remember, Norris 10% extra this week, and we also have the legendary drivers, so give them a check. Now, the boosts above my head, Eagle, Eternal Flame, Dead Fast, all feature both tyre management and speed. If you don't have any of them, make sure to try and find a tyre management boost to try and give you the best pace around the circuit. Now, your track map in the middle. The home straight is the best place to use DRS. You can see that in the top left of the track map. But everywhere else, you want to be pushing in the first half of the lap and then conserving your engine in the second half. It's a track of two halves. Attack the first, conserve the second. That is the best way around here. Now, we're going to be looking at setups for Jeddah, and it is going to be a speed setup. So we're going to run through your strategies now. We have got your junior setup. We have also got your challenger setup. It's a return for your contender setup. And finally, we're going to look at your champion setup, which includes, of course, the beast as well. So that is your speed setup for Jeddah here on the race number 1. Now, race number 2, we do have Silverstone up next, and it is in dry conditions. So let's go and take a look at Silverstone in the dry. And it's going to be, again, a tyre management and speed. So it should be exactly the same as what you have just raced at Jeddah. It's going to be 2 stops pretty much throughout. However, in Champion, again, you can get away with a 4 medium, 4 medium. You could look at Contender doing a 4 hard if you wish. Now, the drivers are the same behind me. I'm going to quickly move aside so you can see them again, but they are exactly the same as your Jeddah setup. So make sure to check that one, and hopefully you will be using these drivers, some of the best. And of course, your boost selection, exactly the same as Jeddah. Again, use a driver stat boost of tyre management if you don't have both of the track stats. Now, your circuit in the middle, you have got the home straight to conserve. You've got the Wellington straight and the Hangar straight. They are both highlighted with the DRS symbol. They are the best places to use your attack engine mode and use DRS at the same time to carry that pace through to the corners. But of course, where you're not using DRS on the straights, you have to be making sure you are saving your power unit so that you can attack. Now, again, we're going to take a look at your setup. You're going to have your junior setup here for Silverstone, which is, again, the same here as Jeddah. You've got your challenger. We have got your contender setup. And then finally, we have your champion setup as well. And that is what you're going to be wanting to run if you're racing at Silverstone. So next circuit is already upon us then. And it's where we're going to have to change our strategy for this one, because it's Spa, but it's in wet conditions. So now it's still the same drivers. It's tyre management, but this time we need a change of setup. So you're going to keep the drivers the same, but you're going to be going for power unit this time. Now, 6 laps to come. Free wet across the board. You can go to a 4-2 in Champions, even a 2-4. If you want to do the undercut for the 6 laps, but it is pretty much a straightforward circuit. Now, your drivers are going to be the same still. It is your Albons, your Strolls, Bortolettos, Norrises, of course, checking the legendary drivers as well. Some very good drivers for tyre management. We have got your boosts above me: Frost, Pretzel, Butterfly. You've got Dragon, Iron Force, Deadfast. We've also got Surf, Instinct, and Self Control, which all feature tyre management and power unit, so make sure to take effect of those good boosts. Again, if you don't have them boosts, try and find yourself a tyre management boost. Now, we're going to look at your setup. So our change of strategy for setup, it is your power unit setup. So here is your junior setup for the power unit circuit of Spa. We have got your challenger setup here. We then have your contender setup. And then finally, we will have your champion setup, which includes the beast, because obviously you want to do the sponsor task. So that is your setup for Spa and Belgium. Now, one more circuit to go. It is a trip back to dry conditions, and it is a trip back to our speed setups, because we are heading off to Miami in the dry. It is 6 laps to come, but we're going to have to change the drivers, because we're going to be wanting to use defensive drivers here, but back to that speed setup as well. Now, 6 laps to come. 3 medium, very much the go-to strategy. And of course, Champion is going to see you run free soft. That tyre management does give you a lot of pushing. You can probably do a free soft with about 65, but I like to give you a lot more push. Not a lot between the two tyres. Now, of course, a change of driver for the first time today here in Miami. So driver lineup is going to be Junior through to Champion. Of course, you've got Challenger and Contender in there. These are some of the best drivers to feature the defensive stat. And remember, Norris, again, having that 10% stat boost might bring him into the equation as well as the Legends. Now, the boosts above my head, not many. Rainbow, Voice, Tulip, Warrior all feature defense and speed. However, again, try and pick a defending boost if you don't have any of those. Now, your circuit in the middle, you've got the first big straight for DRS and the back straight for DRS. You can only use DRS at 1 per lap, so make sure to conserve your power unit on the other and down the home straight. And of course, attack through the corners, absolutely key. Now, let's get your setup for the speed circuit. You've seen it twice already. Here is your Junior setup for Miami. We have got your Challenger setup for this track as well. We make a move to your Contender setup. And then finally, we have your Champion setup. Now, remember, again, with all these strategies, car setups and drivers, it is all about what levels you have. So if you don't have good levels, you might have other parts that are better for your event. So do please check what you are using. I recommend the parts. Don't look at the levels. However, you need to have a look what you've got of the highest levels. Now, that is your strategy guide here for the Legendary Qatar event. It's going to be tough. Sponsor task is going to be a pain. It can open up some big changes, especially up in Champion. So make sure you're monitoring that sponsor task. Race points are massive, so make sure to check that one out. But chat, make sure to keep leaving me comments in the videos if you wish to tell me that you got a good result. You might see yourself included in some of these videos. Now, we did get some really good results that we want to share at the end of this video today, and that is what we're going to be absolutely doing now. So if you made it this far, big congratulations to Brian Fernandez, who has got a P2 champion. So the first time in 6 years playing this game has returned a P2 champion at the weekend of Las Vegas. So congratulations, Brian, and thank you for the amazing kind words as well. We have another good result. We've got David Peters, the last 3 GP events, Challenger P3, Challenger P2, and a P1 contender. Not so great rewards, but still some amazing results as well. Look at that for some consistent results. And then we've also got a nice one from Robbie Dodo, who got a P1 champion. Hasn't raced so much in the recent weeks, but has gone through the strategy guide and got themselves a P1 champion as well. So many people are getting great results, and congratulations to all of you if you are getting those results as well. But good luck for this week's qualifying. Make sure to join our Discord. The link is in the description down below the video. And good luck, and I'm sure we'll see you for qualifying later in the week.